Hey guys, welcome to the Heart of David. Hope you guys are all doing well today. The subject I want to talk about is the Abomination of Desolation. Is it going to be the Antichrist standing there or something else? Personally, I think it's going to be something else, and I think actually it's quite obvious. And before I get to that, I put out my back yesterday once again. I hope I didn't pull all the scarring that had healed. My back, remember all the stuff I went through? That was like a year and a half of the worst back pain. And you know, when you hurt your back, you cause a scar in your muscle, your deep muscle, right? And yesterday I was biking. I was going from the bank to go to volunteer, and it was snowing, and man, I had some black ice. I fell into a snowbank, but it was only like 6 inches of snow, but at least there was some padding. I wasn't going really quick, but anyways, it just twisted and bam, right onto my brachial plexus, where I have my brachial plexus. So it's uncomfortable in these videos. So if I look uncomfortable, that's why. Let's read this. Actually, back pain steals your ability to think. It sucks. You see all the things that Donald Trump is doing? For instance, and this does tie into what I'm going to talk about, and it's worthwhile hearing this. I don't think it's going to be the Antichrist standing in the holy place. I don't think it indicates that at all. So you know my position. Don't judge me on my position, because it's just what I think and see. That I believe Donald Trump is the Antichrist himself, the man of lawlessness, the man of sin. He gets into office and he starts doing really strange stuff, saying, possible annexation of Canada, not by military force, but by economic force. Oh, if that line wasn't, that imaginary line, we're considering taking military force for Greenland and the Panama Canal, Denmark, whatever. Then he says he's going to take over Gaza, something never heard before and will not be accepted by many in the Muslim world. What is he doing is the question, and you can see it in action. You can see the responses of people. He says, I'm going to do this, and he gives you a certain amount of time to try to straighten out the problem. The biggest fight I've seen him ever have is actually Canada right now. We are ready to fight him. We are ready to completely decouple away from the United States. People don't understand that. There's videos out there saying Canada folded. No, they didn't. Have you been watching our news? In any case, our upcoming prime minister, who's going to be Polyev, and Trudeau understand, and the premiers, that things have to change, and they do, about fentanyl. Like, even though we had just 50 pounds of it, that could kill everyone in Canada twice over. These things have to be done. This is what he does. This is what Trump does. And this isn't about Trump, okay? But this is what he does. They're afraid of him. And then he, whatever he says, he just waits. It's a negotiation. It's also a fear tactic. Who can make war with the beast? That's just my impression, okay? Now with Gaza, that's a different story. is he taking the same approach? So I don't actually believe he's going to do what he said. You know what I think he's doing with Jared Kushner? I think they're trying to make everyone think, okay, listen, we gotta go to the peace table. It's the time. That's what I see. Because if he just took over Gaza, there would be a major war. That's what I think. And you know, it's very tough to trust what the news is. And I think today Mohammed bin Salman said, you know, we don't accept this. You know, like it can only be, you can see it almost happening, right? Because Trump said this is going to take it over. All of a sudden, bin Salman is saying, okay, well, listen, we don't accept this. They have to go back. There's no other way to go but to go to the 1967 borders. That's it. There's no other way. But, you know, Trump could do this with force, of course. So what is this? I think he's trying to bring them to the table. Finally, in the Abraham Accords, you know they're going to sign something, and then peace and safety will occur somewhere along the line. Look at the, what do you call it? It was on TV 2 days ago. Netanyahu and Trump in a big meeting on TV. They said peace and security over like 50 times because it was a long thing and it was all about peace. 50 times. You hear me? Go count them. Go back and watch and count them. That's going to be on one of my videos I'm making very soon. You're looking out for them to say that? They say it in that one. So, you know, a third temple is going to be built. And I think all of this is that's going to be the climax of this. So, it's coming very soon. You can see it coming. It's forming. You know, when I look at the Ezekiel 38, stuff like that, I can just imagine how mad the Muslim world is. But listen, let me pace here. I think this makes the most sense of anything. I don't think the Antichrist is going to be standing in the holy place. That's not what it indicates. Let's read Matthew 24. Just give me a second so I can pace because of my back. Makes life so much tougher. Back pain is like, you know, people with back pain who have chronic back pain, it's the last pain you want to have because it's the one, you know, it's the one that keeps your stability. That one is, I have adhesive arachnoiditis anyways, I already have that, but more below, like from my, just above my butt, the top of my butt, maybe about that much above it. But I'm used to that. But you know, pain, it's like pain dementia. Your pain is aching so much you can't think. All right, Matthew 24. You know the titles that the people who made these versions give, which are really not in the Bible, right? So it says the Great Tribulation, but okay, so actually no, I'll give it a little bit of context. I'll start off on verse 12. And because lawlessness will abound, the love of many will grow cold. That's happening on steroids right now throughout the world. But he who endures to the end shall be saved. And no, it's not like you think. It's just those who just keep faith with God. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all the world as a witness to all nations, and then the end will come. So this is verse 15, which I want to talk about. Therefore, when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by the prophet Daniel, standing in the holy place, whoever reads, let him understand. Let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Let him who is on the housetop not go down to take anything out of his home. And let him who is in the field not go back to take his clothes. But okay, so you understand the rest, right? The Sabbath day, hope it's not a Sabbath day. For then there will be great tribulation, such has not been since the beginning of the world until this time, no, or nor ever shall be. And unless those days were shortened, no flesh will be saved. But for the elect's sake, they will be shortened. Now listen, before I go over this again, therefore when you see the abomination of desolation spoken by Daniel, the prophet, standing in the holy place, whoever reads, let him understand. I don't see anything in this that indicates that the Antichrist is going to stand anywhere. Where? Tell me exactly where it says that. Let me pace again. I got to think of what I'm going to say. It's really that bad. Just give me a sec. When I walk, when you have a lot of pain in your back or a lot of pain, when you go to walk, for me anyways, it's like it instantly stops. That's why I like to walk with people. In building the temple, okay, we know who God is. We know the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. It's no mystery to us, right? It's no mystery to us. We look at the Jews, more born-again Christians look at the Jews and just think, I just wish you'd be saved, and the things you are doing are silly. Your traditions are no different than the Catholic Church. It's right under your noses, the truth. They've been forsaken for 2,000 years. They believe that building a temple will bring God back. And they just can't build it on any place. They have to build it on Mount Moriah, right? Because that's the way that God will answer. So what are they going to do? They're going to do animal sacrifices, right? Think of that. Do you think that, number one, the temple is an abomination to God? Yes. Do you think killing a poor little sheep and slicing its throat is going to bring God? Do you think that's an abomination? And do you think it's spitting in the face of Jesus Christ? Yes. Therefore, when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, standing in the holy place, whoever reads, let him understand. Okay, there it is. There's the warning. Those who are in Judea. It's the temple. They're gonna build a temple. I've seen this before. I just didn't try to explain it on video. So there's no indication of any of those other things. Of course, the temple is an abomination. And do you know what's worse? Well, I don't know. It's hard to judge which one is worse. But people like John Hagee and others are funding that because they think that's going to bring Jesus Christ about, which it will. But it's the wrong thing to do as a Christian. As a true born-again Christian who knows their Bible, you stay away from abominations to God. You loathe them. You hate them. You don't hate the Jews. You hate what they're trying to do. And so that's where Zechariah 13 and 14 come in, where God is going to look upon them, and but they're going to go through some tribulation, and they're going to be horrified, and they're going to call out for Jesus Christ. That's what's going to happen. But before that, 2/3 of them are going to die. Only 1/3 will be saved, refined through the fire, like silver and like gold. So I say to you, go look in Matthew 24. You point out to me where it says the Antichrist is going to stand anywhere. So you know, you can see right now, based on the news, and you know what I've been doing, and I just wanted to say this to you. Boy, man, it's like someone's got their fingers pushing right in my back. Please say a prayer for me. Please say a prayer for me. Anyone who hears this, please say a prayer for my back, that it hasn't ripped open the same scarring from before. You know, like 8.5 out of 10 pain right now. I haven't purposely been watching all the news. I've tried to stop, okay? If I see something very important like a temple or something like that, yeah, I do that now. But I've started to switch. First it was social media, and YouTube is, for me, is learning and getting the news, but not watching junk Christian channels, you know, ones that are, you know, very obvious that they're, you know, apostate, or, you know, or they're just making videos about Hollywood and stuff like that. I call that junk. Yeah, I do. Just trying to stay pure. I'm sure you understand. What I'm trying to say is that I'm in a lot of pain. That these things that we're seeing are tremendously beautiful things. You and I are not trying to bring this temple about, but hey, it's in front of us. Looks like it's coming. Our salvation is very, very close. I can't wait to see what happens here. It's crazy. Go look at the news conference with Netanyahu and Donald Trump 2 days ago. They're sitting down for about 1 or 2 hours. Come back and write in my comment section how many times you heard peace and security. Probably around 50 times at least. God bless, guys. Thanks for watching.